All right, what is up? We are live. A couple things I want to hit that I didn't get a chance to make a video on during, I guess, basically this weekend. Kurt Busch put out an interesting tweet that a few people caught. I'm gonna hold it up. Maybe you guys can see it. But he said, "Heard today is my day. Refired, not retired." And this was the tweet right here. Who's still? Yeah, so that's the picture or whatever that he tweeted out with that. So that was really interesting as to what he meant by refired, not retired. A lot of people speculating, especially on the second half of that, where he says he's not retired. Does that mean he is going to jump in the number 67 for, of course, 2311 or something like that? So that was definitely a very interesting tweet. Of course, the other thing breaking, or not breaking or whatever, but Rajah Caruth wins his first race. He becomes only, I think, the third African American. Wendell Scott and Bubba Wallace being the other two. They continue the tradition of Wendell Scott, who, of course, broke the barrier, followed by, I think, Willie T. And then Bill Lester was in there. And then, of course, Bubba and Rajah getting wins. So there you go. Good for him. And also the interesting thing about him, he's like a really good story because him and his dad, I always love it when he's in the news because they had the best plan ever. Like his dad is like, okay, I'm cool with you racing. We're going to figure out a way for you to race, but we're also going to figure out a way for you to go to college and finish your college degree. So I think he's just like a great example as far as that goes too, because obviously the racing thing is working out. But if the racing thing hadn't worked out, he would still have his degree. He's a senior right now, actually, at Winston-Salem State University. In fact, Bob Pockers asked him a question. He's like, what about your schoolwork schedule? Do you think you can get an extension because, you're going to go late into the night with all these interviews and stuff for winning the Truck Series race? So that was a cool moment as well. So always a good story when he's in the news, in my opinion. And, of course, the other big thing, I've touched on it before, I guess. But, there's one other thing. Teresa Earnhardt, I guess, strikes again. Was unprivy to this, but the Carowinds Intimidator, the Intimidator ride, has now been renamed to the Thunder Striker. That is because it is in the Thunder Road section of the park. And also, I guess their licensing agreement has run out with Teresa Earnhardt. So we lost the Kannapolis Intimidators, and now we have lost the Intimidator ride at Carowinds. Unfortunately, the Thunder Striker, what it's going to be called now. I guess if you hurry up and get up there quickly, if it's still open, I think it'll be a little bit before they change over the name. But it was originally built in March 27th of 2010. That's when it opens up. It has 1,600 riders per hour, and it cost a cool $23 million to build it. So there you go. Super interesting. It's at the Carowinds in Charlotte, so or right on the I want to say it's right on the North Carolina South Carolina border, but it's the one in Charlotte. So there you go. That has been renamed as well. So that was interesting as well too. And the other thing, of course, the one that everybody knows. Front row. Adam Stern tweeted out. Let me get his words right. Adam Stern tweeted out: Ford bumping front row up a level as Stewart-Haas Racing struggles to regain its footing, and just so happens to be in its final year of a contract with Ford is not a coincidence. Indications continue to point toward SHR and Ford parting, and of course, with the news that Honda, there's a good chance Honda comes in. It has created a lot of speculation there. But, however, let me throw a little bit of cold water on the Honda SHR talk because, Brian Murphy tweeted out in response to Adam Stern, Honda would be a fantastic addition for NASCAR and its fans. Remember, the deadline for NASCAR Cup Series OEM body approval process is September 1st, 2 years prior to the race season for which the race vehicle will be introduced. So that means we're 2 years away at the earliest for Honda. So it looks like 2026 would be the earliest that Honda jumped into the sport. So that throws a little bit of cold water on the SHR to Honda talk. But does SHR convince Dodge to come in? Dodge's process would be equally as long, but Dodge already has the motor built. So, you can sort of factor some other stuff in that way too. But what it strengthens is SHR to Chevrolet. And if SHR goes to Chevrolet, there's always been this rumor out here that Dale Jr. buys into SHR. Does it become Dale Jr., Tony Stewart Racing or Haas Race, whatever it would be named? But that would be another way for Dale Jr. to get into the sport and to just add some fuel to that fire, because it's fun to speculate. Look at all the JRM people that are already over there at Stewart-Haas Racing. I mean, you've got Josh Berry, you've got Noah Gregson, you've got several people from infrastructure perspectives, like crew chiefs and stuff like that. You've got several of them that have gone over there as well. So just add some fuel to that fire that this might be Dale Jr.'s angle or way into the Cup Series. So there you go. That is interesting if Stewart-Haas Racing were to switch over to Chevy. So there you go. Those were all of the basically news stories that I didn't get a chance to cover. So now let's go to the preview for the race today in Las Vegas, and then I will jump into the questions. Let's see, or jump into the chat, I should say. With an average since, what are we going from? 2021. Since 2021, Kyle Busch has the best average finish of 5.0 in the last 6 races. He has 5 top 10s, 5 top 5s, and 6 top 20s. So if you're looking for a top 5 guy, you got Kyle Busch there, and average finish of 15, or average start of 15.0, average finish of 5.0. Martin Truex Jr. is second on average finish at 6.8. Kyle Larson is third with 8.5. Fast Willie D at 8.7. Denny Hamlin at 10.5. Tyler Reddick at 10.7. Ross Chastain at 11.3. Brad Keselowski 11.8. Kevin Harvick not in the race, but Josh Berry, he ran some good overall practice, like long run and practice speed. Had some good time. 13.0 for the 4-car. Kurt Busch not in the race, but like I said, he had that interesting tweet. But it bodes well for 23-11 that his 13.3 average finish there. Christopher Bell, 13.7. Joey Logano, 13.8. He is your pole sitter. Matt DiBenedetto, not in the race. Austin Dillon, 15.2. And Chase Elliott, 15.4. That rounds out your top 15, but I think there's 2 in there. So Ryan Blaney at 15.5 and AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, 17.3. So Chris Buescher and Ryan Blaney would round out your top 15 there. Let's go to previous winners. Kyle Larson with 2, Alex Bowman with 1, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and William Byron also have 1. And let's go to laps led, because I feel like that is a good indicator of who has the best chances of winning these races. Kyle Larson at 421, Denny Hamlin almost not even half at 253 is the second, William Byron third at 217, and then Ross Chastain at 151. So Ross Chastain looking like a good sleeper pick there. I haven't seen a lot of people mention him. Not that Ross Chastain could ever be a sleeper pick, but Brad Keselowski, 77 laps led here, so I wouldn't sleep on him either. And who can I sort of cherry pick here to be like another sleeper pick that people aren't probably talking about? I tell you what, Josh Berry, man, the 4-car has run good here, so Josh Berry would probably be a really good sleeper pick. And Christopher Bell, he's even though he's really good, he's always a sleeper pick. All right, let's see what BetMGM has to say about it. JJ Yaley is going to be your longest odd at 200,000 to 1. 150,000 to 1 is going to be Kaz Grala. 100,000 to 1. You got several drivers here: Justin Haley, Daniel Hemrick, Derek Kraus. Then Harrison Burton is at 50,000 to 1. Ryan Preece, same odds there. 4,500, not 45,000. 4,500 to 1 is going to be Zane Smith. Josh Berry, 3,500. Carson Hosfar, 2,500. 20,000 is Todd Gilliland, 15,000, Corey LaJoy, and John Hunter Nemechek sharing that as well. 12,500 for Noah Gregson and Eric Jones. 10,000 and 10,000 apiece for McDowell and Dillon. And now we're getting into the single digits. 8,000 for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 66,000 for Chase Briscoe and Daniel Suarez. Austin Cindric, 5,000. 3,500 Chris Buescher, 3,500 Brad Kay, and Ty Gibbs, 2,000 for Alex Bowman. And then you got Kyle Busch. Oh, this is a good one right here. Kyle Busch at plus 1,800. That's a nice. I like that. Obviously, you saw it. He's got the best average finish there. And then you got Denny Hamlin at 1,800, Martin Truex Jr. at 1,600, Ross Chastain 1,400. That was one of the sleeper picks I had. Tyler Reddick at 1,400. Also Bubba Wallace at 1,400. 1,300 for C. Bell. 1,200 for Chase Elliott. Then 900 for Ryan Blaney. 700 for William Byron. 600 for Joey Logano. And 340 for Kyle Larson. So Kyle Larson looking like your favorite from BetMGM, and that is reflected in the chat over here. As you see, the poll question is Larson, who you got? Larson at 60% right now at plus 360. Joey Logano at plus 700 at 20%. Byron, 4% at plus 700. And Ryan Blaney plus 900. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Going to start here from, let's see, Mark Barnum. What's up? Good to see you on here. C.O. Keller, hi y'all from North Idaho. Good morning, Bumblebee, Mark, One Wise Guy, and Baloney Burger. Good to see you as always, Cassandra. Mark Barnum saying, what's up? One Wise Guy, I'm wondering if Teresa will ever let go of the number 8, or at least that font of the number 8. I don't think so, because she's still holding on to the Intimidator nickname that they trademarked. And like I said, the Kannapolis Intimidators were sort of caught up in that too. They didn't want to get into a rights issue over the name. So they changed it to the Cannonballers. Although the little guy does still have like a little mustache, and it is a cool hat. So there you go. I need to get up there and watch a baseball game of the Cannonballers and the Burlington Sock Puppets. I need to check them out too. Who else likes minor league baseball? It's always fun. Savannah Bananas probably put on the best show. I need to check them out too. What's up, Evie and everyone? Joey should go after Hamburger Helper for a sponsorship to get that glove. What's up, T-Van? That would be a great deal. Remember when Clint Boyer, One Wise Guy, used to have those Hamburger Helper commercials with a little glove man? Howdy from the Great White North. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? What's up, Xfinity? Good or just a snoozer? I thought it was a pretty good race. I thought it had a little bit of everything, including people getting bit by live pit stops and trouble on pit road. So I thought that was a really good deal too. What's up, CL Lamar Barnum? Howdy, Cassandra, says Robin. Motor Mouse all the way today, says says Randy Mente. So there you go. He's going with Motor Mouse. I'm still thinking Chip may partner with Junior to create a team. Yeah, so that's interesting too, because when Trackhouse left, they said we'll always be part of the Chip Ganassi family of doing things. That's what actually leads me to believe they're going to be the team that switches over to Honda. I think they're going to switch over to Honda, and they're going to take Spire and possibly Colleague with them with the alliances they've got with those two. That would give Honda immediately 6 to 8 cars right there. So I've always thought it was going to be them that switches over to Honda. I don't know why. It's just sort of like a feeling. So I think they're going to be the team, and I think Stewart-Haas probably goes back to Chevrolet, and that would sort of even it out because Chevrolet would gain 4 but lose 6. So net overall, Chevrolet would lose 2. Or possibly more. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see. I got one thing. Chastain this weekend, says Dirty Def. So Dirty Def going with the Melon Man. Not a bad pick. I think that's a good pick. The Trackhouse and Penske and Hendrick and obviously the Toyotas. They've all had speed early on in the season. They don't have the finishes to show for them, particularly Joey Logano. It could be argued that Joey Logano has been the fastest car in every race so far and doesn't have a single finish to show for it. Maybe today is the day he punches the ticket. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to make my picks, right? So I'm picking, by the numbers, I'm picking Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson because he's got the most wins and Kyle Busch has the best finishes there. So by the numbers, I'm picking those two. But just going eyeball test and looking at the practice speeds and stuff like that, I'm going Joey Logano for my pick. And for my wild card, I've already mentioned it. I'm going to go with Ross Chastain or Josh Berry. I got one thing: Kyle Larson will win today. The Ford Mustang with its new front end is a direct copy of their '69 Torino Talladega. I think about it the way it's sloped from the front. It could be. The only Torino experience I have is the Clint Eastwood movie. So that's the only one I've ever seen. I don't know exactly what year that one is. It's either a 68 or a 69 or a 70, I want to say. No Chevys, enough with Government Motors, says Al. I mean, good luck because Ford's about to get some bailout money from what I hear as well. So we'll see. Penske and Hendrick have won the last 4 races. Of course, the Ford response is, I used to work at Ford. So the common Ford response to that is, yes, but we paid ours back. So there you go. They'll pay theirs back. Is going to be the response there. Penske and Hendrick have won the last 4 to 5 races, I believe, says One Wise Guy. Yeah, I want to. Trackhouse has to be in there too, though. So Trackhouse has won 3 out of the last. Is it 3 out of the last 4? So Trackhouse has to be up there too. Oh, you're talking about at Las Vegas. I got you. I thought you were talking about races overall. Yeah, Vegas, that makes sense. Penske and Hendrick are always really good there, for sure. I believe that. I haven't looked that up. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but that definitely makes sense. Those are the two main ones that I see winning there. So that definitely, I think that definitely would track. Let's see. In between the lanes, what's up, my friend? Chase Elliott wins because he makes me more money today. LOL, says Joseph Wooten. So Joseph is going to take Chase Elliott. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all. Kyle Busch will go for 4 for 5 in trucks this year. Says in between the lanes. Yeah, little pit road action got Kyle Busch caught up. So took him out of the running, but he did the good teammate thing and held up who was right behind him. But he held up somebody for Rajah for one lap and then let him go. I don't think they had anything for Rajah anyway. That truck was hooked up all race. Rajah could be a top candidate for the Hendrick number 5 if Larson ever decides to go back to being a full-time open wheel racer. It's no secret that dirt tracking is where Kyle's true passion and not stock cars, says Matt Hunter. That's a good point. Of course, the one that Alex Bowman always on the hot seat, even though he signed the extension and stuff like that. He's got a multiple-year extension, I want to say, that he signed. But it's always the 48 that's on the hot seat. So a lot of people have been talking about. Good point. So that's the other thing I forgot to mention, Rajah. It was a big weekend for him because he got the full-on Hendrick car sponsorship, and then he goes out and wins the race. So immediately everybody's like, oh, he's the future over there at Hendrick. And immediately the first person everybody always wants to take out of Hendrick is Alex Bowman, despite having 5 or 6 wins over there since he's joined Hendrick. It's Alex Bowman's lot in life, unfortunately. He's bound to be the man on the hot seat over there for some reason. Greetings from the parking lot of Las Vegas. I've been here all weekend, and yes, the wind is still ridiculous, says Keith. So there you go. The wind is still going to play a factor into this race. So don't discount that. What happened with Ty Dillon Friday? He hit debris on the track. Yeah, something happened. That the Rackley War has always had like a lot of mechanical issues, so that's not the first time. I don't know if he hit something on the track, which I think he did. I can't remember off the top of my head, or if something just mechanically went wrong, kind of like Collie did with SVG in the Xfinity Series. Yeah, but he had some type of mechanical trouble. That's why he didn't have a good race, or didn't have a chance to have a good race. I'm picking Christopher Bell, but I like Joey Logano, says Jackson. So there you go, C. Bell. That's a really good pick too. I feel like he's always an underdog. No one ever wants to give Chris Bell props, but he's about one of the best ones out there in my opinion. Did Fox even show the Kyle Busch safety violation? I don't think so. They just talked about it in between the lanes. They were just like, oh, he had a safety violation, and then they didn't say what it was. I think it was a man over the wall too early, if I had to guess. Where are you going to watch the race today? I'm gonna travel on down the road and watch it. Not anywhere fancy or anything like that. Not going to like Buffalo, or not in the distant future. And how about Deegan Strong Xfinity race? Go girl, says William. Yeah, so there you go. Haley Deegan had a top 15, so it was a good run for her. It's the only track on the series that she actually had some experience at in an Xfinity Series car, because that's the track she raced last year. So she did a good job and had a great run yesterday. Speaking of which, Matt Crafton. He said no girl can beat him in a truck or something or in a vehicle, racing in a vehicle. So he had a bet going with Travis Pastrana in the Rallycross deal, and he ends up finishing 5th. And her last name's Ledbetter. I forget her first name, but she outrun him. She finished in 3rd, and he finished 5th. So he's gotten a lot of flack on Twitter, A, for saying that, and B for also saying that and then losing to Miss Ledbetter. I cannot call her first name to save my soul. But she's a really good rally racer, dirt racer, I should say. Fox coverage of the Xfinity race was poor, only focused on 97%, only focused on the front 97% of the time, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, that's definitely an issue with both of them, I think. I feel like NBC does the same thing, and Fox definitely guilty of it last night. Feels like a Byron win, says Bob Dole. Bob Dole going with Fast Willie B. Sombrero Grande. Although he was not Sombrero Grande recently, I guess the contract for the Noggin Boss has run out. How do you think the number 42 will do? Says Sir Wood Rooster. This is a home track for Noah Gragson, and if Josh Berry has a good run going here, I feel like Noah Gragson. This is one of the tracks he'll definitely be good at. So that would definitely be a good pick. If you want a underdog pick or something like that, I do agree with it. You never bet against the hometown guy. That's one thing I always go with. So yeah, I think he'll have a good run here, Sir Wood Rooster. Rajah Caruth works at a Hendrick dealership while attending college. Yeah, he attends Winston-Salem State University, where he is a senior while working at HendrickCars.com. Iowa-Ohio State game about to start. Caitlin needs 18 to break Pistol Pete's record. So there you go. That'll be interesting to watch if you want to check that one out. I watched Duke absolutely mollywop Virginia. I was flipping back and forth between the race and that. So luckily I didn't have to watch much of that because they put it on Virginia. Strong showing for the Blue Devils. Joe Logano and Austin Cindric were in the Xfinity booth, says in between the lanes. Yeah, they did a good job. Austin Cindric is a underrated announcer, I want to say. He's underrated. I think he's an underrated driver too. So definitely, and he's starting like what, third or fourth here today. So he's underrated as well. My money, but they were definitely really good in the booth, I thought. My money is on the 22 and the 23 today, says Lovey. Yeah, those are not bad picks. Let's see. I'm forgetting where. Yeah, so Joey Logano rolling off first. Kyle Larson second. Austin Cindric third, so he is third. Fast Willie B is fourth. Bubba Wallace fifth, so he is the first Toyota, so that's definitely a good pick there. Chase Briscoe was a Stewart-Haas car I was trying to remember. That's why I think Stewart-Haas has speed. Chase Briscoe laid down the qualifying lap. I think the other guys are in race trim, so I think we'll see something there. Then you got Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, and Chris Buescher and C. Bell rounding out your top 10. Chase Elliott just outside the top 10, 11th. Michael McDowell continues a strong start, speed-wise, at least for Front Row Motorsports. Don't have all the results to show for it in 12th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. doing his thing for JTG Doherty Racing. And Carson Hocevar, 14th there. Ryan Blaney, 15th. And your previous winner, Daniel Suarez, Amigo 99, is 16th. Corey LaJoy, 17th. So there you go. That is a brief starting lineup right there. William Byron has a horsepower set up for iRacing, says in between the lanes. I'm pretty sure he's got every setup you could think of for iRacing. He was definitely really good at iRacing. My money is on Larson leading over 100 laps, only to find some new way to crash out, says Donnie S. I mean, that's a fair statement. That's probably a fair statement. He goes out there and leads a ton of laps, but sometimes it doesn't work out, especially on super speedways. So hopefully they finish the race, or the 5-car finishes the race today. There are pictures of it online. BB, says William Wagaman. Pictures of, I don't know what we're talking about. I'm not 100% sure what we're talking about with their pictures of online, but I'll if you let me know what you're talking about, I've lost the conversation, and that's my fault. We'll figure it out. Top 5 for Christopher Bell and trucks Friday night, says in between the lanes. Yeah, C. Bell, he didn't have a strong start to that race, but he definitely Eastwood's Torino is a 72. Oh, I appreciate you, William. I got you now. So talking about the Torino, there are pictures of it online. I got you. So Christopher Bell's top 5. Yeah, he didn't start off really well, and then but toward the end of the race, he got his track position back and stuff like that. So definitely a good deal for him in the trucks. He's a really good looking Mobil 1 truck too. I like the paint scheme on that thing. Cindric's mom dressed him for the booth. Yeah, so Austin Cindric likes to go with the bow tie. Joey Logano definitely razzed him for the bow tie, but Cindric is a fashion forward bow tie guy, and he likes what's underrated is he goes with usually a pretty stylish pair of glasses too. So he likes to be fashion forward with his look in the booth. So definitely, it's one of those looks. I would say Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon share that, because Austin Dillon likes to be well dressed too. So I would say those two would probably be pushing the fashion forward envelope for the NASCAR series. I don't know if you guys watch any NBA, but NBA used to always be about, they're walking out, who's wearing what. I think those two guys would sort of be NASCAR's version of that, sort of the old picking up the old Tim Richmond role as far as the flamboyant dress. Let's see. I don't like Joey, but I like him in the booth. Go figure, says Robin Marks. Hey, a lot of people don't necessarily like a driver inside of a race car, but then when they hop out of the race car, they like them outside of the race car. Denny Hamlin is the other one that comes to mind off the top of my head. We need Honda to jump in with SHR so we can have a number 14 Mahindra Honda. Could see them scaling back to 3 teams and selling off the number 10 charter. Or what if they scaled back to 2 teams and Dale Jr. Was the other two teams. Like I could see that situation happening, and they wouldn't be scaling back. They would still have all four teams. It would just be, Junior Haas, Stewart Racing, Stewart Junior Haas. That's it. That's going to be the name of the team. Stewart Junior Haas Racing. I like it. Or no, you have to put his name first because that would sell the most. So it would have to be Earnhardt Smoke Haas. We'll have to come up with something. I mean, if he could get over having to have his name first for the licensing deal, Smoke Earnhardt Racing would be the one. Smoke Earnhardt, like that's just a cool name. Like that's like one of the Earnhardts need to have a child, and his name needs to be Smoke. We need Smoke Earnhardt Racing, and that's the end of it. We need Smoke Earnhardt Racing. I've spoken. There you go. Junior Smoke Racing. Junior Smoke Racing is not terrible. I don't know. I'm feeling. You know what? We're going to end this poll question because we've got a legitimate poll question now. Let's see. What was the other one? We'll just do the really bad one. Earnhardt, Stewart. There we go. And of course, had to throw in one for fun. So there you go. There are the options: Smoke Earnhardt Racing, Junior Smoke Racing. What was the other one? Earnhardt Stewart-Haas, or the law offices of Dale, Tony, and Gene. So I had to throw that one in for fun. So Earnhardt Stewart-Haas off the jump is the first one that everybody's voted for. So let me know what should be the name there. Let's see. Eastwood's Torino is a 72. Odd of John Hunter Nemechek getting a top 10. Oh, I don't know. I don't have the actual odds of him getting the top 10, but he definitely won the race. So yeah, he'd probably be a good one to bet on. I think the Legacy gang is more setting up for long run speed. I know they had a bad race the other week, but I think they'll be good here because Allegiant has a big presence in Las Vegas. So I expect Legacy to be good here. Let's see. I'm going insane with Chastain today. Says I live free or die trying. So he's picking Chastain. I think that's a good pick, man. Like his numbers show it over there. Toyota had a good day with Nemechek and Smith and Xfinity. Yeah, for sure. They definitely two Joe Gibbs teams had it going on, and two Joe Gibbs teams did not have it going on. Sheldon Creed, you got to start getting results. Like you can't say the car was holding me back. Then go over to Stewart-Haas Racing and not Stewart-Haas Racing. Then go over to Joe Gibbs Racing and not run as good as you thought you were going to run in the magical car. And I like Sheldon Creed. I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just saying you can't say the car was the problem, then go over to Joe Gibbs Racing and not produce. I think as the season goes on, he'll produce, though. I definitely think he's going to win a race this year. Let's see. Joey took the pole at 29.291. Hemrick starts 34th at a 29.936, less than a second to set the field. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's what I'm saying. Qualifying, not necessarily the most important thing. I want to see who's got the long run speed, and that's why I said Josh Berry. I might have the long run deal. Lick the like button, says Cassandra Keller. Stewart-Haas Racing, Stewart-Haas Earnhardt, SHE, says Matt Hunter. There's the Discord server. Yes, if you want to check out the Discord server, I try to jump in there during the race and talk about stuff. I try to jump in during the regular week too, and we throw some ideas around. SHE Racing, Says Capstone. I'm talking about pictures of the 1969 Torino Talladega. They all are online, so you can look at the front end. It was definitely a copy of the new car. I like smoke racing. BB, that is fire. Says Jackson Robinson. I appreciate you there, Jackson. Where did SVG finish? He was second to last. One wise guy. They had he said they had an engine problem or something like that. Took it behind the wall, so that was unfortunate. When Austin Dillon takes over RCR, Junior could come join up with him. They could call it Dillon Earnhardt Incorporated. I think Earnhardt Childress, like they've already got the ECR stuff like that. I think Childress Earnhardt or Earnhardt Childress, but Earnhardt Childress, man, that would be the junk. Like that would be dope right there. So yeah, if that ever happened, God, could you imagine the amount of merchandise they would sell? So that would be. God, that would be cool if that ever happened. I remember I was so stoked when Richard Petty was working with RCR because I was like, hell yeah, man! Richard Petty's getting his cars prepared by RCR. That was the coolest. That was the coolest deal ever. Before, of course, moving on and linking up with GMS, and now it's Legacy Motor Club. ESH Motorsports, EHS Motorsports says Escobar and John Hale over under 5 cautions today. I'll go under. I'm going to go under 5 cautions a day, as long as you don't count the stage breaks. I don't count them. I don't count them as cautions. SVG finished bad. I think he had a DNF. Says Jackson. Yeah, he had an engine problem. Over 5 bank on it. So William Wagaman taking the overs. There we go. Jackson taking the overs. So we got 2 overs, and like I said, you got to qualify that with I'm not counting stage cautions. So there you go. I'll stay on here for 1 or 2 more minutes to see how the poll question flushes out. Right now, 27 votes. Just popped up one, so there you go. Smoke Earnhardt Racing is at 33%. Junior Smoke Racing is 7%. Earnhardt Stewart-Haas 46%, and the law offices of Dale, Tony, and Gene at 14%. I like that the law offices. That was a funny on the spur of the moment. But Earnhardt Stewart-Haas is your leader at 46%. If you want to change that, jump in here and get your vote in now. So let's see here. With the right tag team name, it could also be a barbecue chain. Oh, there you go. That would have been better. Dale, Tony, and Gene's Pork Palace. Oh God, that sounds terrible. Dale, Tony, and Gene's barbecue. That would also work for the Pork Palace. That's interesting. Where did that come from? Let's see. Any notable? God, I'm so stupid. Any notable entries today? I did see a couple. JJ Yaley obviously in there racing for New York Racing, and there's the start lineup. Let's see. Yeah, we got JJ Yaley, Derek Kraus. Derek Kraus was the one I was trying to think of, and of course, this is another race for Kaz Gralla in the 15. He'll race most of them in the 15 this season in his rookie campaign in the NASCAR Cup Series. So those were the 2 notable ones there, being Kraus and JJ Yaley. Let's see. I like the Tundra body since it debuted in 2022. It is a pretty good looking truck. I really like the Mobil 1 scheme that was the C-Bell. Yeah, C-Bell had. That one looked really good. Jackson Robinson laughing. If Austin Dillon indeed retires after this year, who gets the number 3, Busch or Hill? I don't think Austin Dillon's retiring, but I think it would be I think you would slide Kurt Busch into the 3, or they would just make it a 33 and not run the 3. They would sort of figure out something, but I think they would move it over to Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch would be the 3. Derek Kraus saying Jackson Robinson. Haas's Smoked Juniors says Sly Supersonic. That would definitely be an awesome. Barbecue name. In between the lanes, go buy one at a dealership. Says William Wagaman. HMS sucks. Says like this. Oh, so like this. Like, what's up, my man? Getting his HMS sucks in there, and maybe at William Wagaman says in between the lanes. So all right, looks like we've reached the end of it. Of course, after the race, I will jump on and we'll do this thing again. But until then, peace.